Well, welcome to VP4TV. I had no intention of doing this because I have my own match later on tonight, but there are two matches in the 2024 Virtual Cowboy World Championship running at the moment. This is one of them. Coldest Pillow against the mystery player Progressive Pool. Races to 3 these matches, so they are, and there's also the other match going on, and we can actually just tab. This is a first round match. Now there's been buys in this draw, and if we go right up the bracket, we can see the top match. We've got YouPlonkerRodney, who's another stranger, who's already up 1 rack to nil, had more than 3 or 4 goes at trying to get out. Sergeresh should have actually maybe got back into that late on, but he wasn't good enough to take his chances. He could have probably taken that first rack all the way if he'd actually got his act together with the opportunities that he had when Rodney couldn't get out. Now, for the meantime, we're going to just stick. Good afternoon to Bill. We're going to stick with this one because Coldest Pillow is the rookie into this game. He already missed an obvious two-way shot before I started the stream. We'll see if we can point out some options to give you the best chance of making a point. But we can see that Progressive Pool has been putting more together than Coldest Pillow. He's on the brink of getting to 90. Now Coldest Pillow at the table right now, so let's see where he can. Well, see, this is too straight, this 5 ball, but he can pinch it a bit, and he's got an angle. Now this is what we call the sucker scratch. If you hit this, in fact it's actually too much of an angle. This, you've got to hit it soft so that you don't scratch off the 1 ball. So now what he needs to do is pot that 1 and stay in the kitchen, or pot the 3 and stay above the 3. So he's got to pot the 1 soft or pot the 3 soft if he wants to give himself a good chance of getting 2 choices of a carom. Let's look. You see, I think he's come up too far. Well, no, he's okay. He can still do it off the 3 ball, but the safest option is the 5 if he doesn't cut it into the pocket. Now, Progressive Pool needs to be careful here, because if he's going to pot the 1, he has to make sure he doesn't carom, and I think he was wary of that he had to change the direction of the cue ball, and maybe with a bit of spin he had in the cue ball, he actually overcut the 1 because he didn't get the connection on it quite as good. Now this needs to be soft again. It needs to be a gentle edge off the 5 onto the 3. The 3, if you hit it full in the face, it's going to go at the short rail. He's actually hit it with a wee bit more pace, which is not bad. Now, even though your opponent's at 89, you've got every chance to get back in this if you play sensibly. And above all, protect your points. Whatever you do, don't lose your points. Don't take a risk. Now you see, once things start going apart, then you have to start looking at running the cue ball, and this is the dangerous part of the game. Now that's not bad. Again, that was too hard, you see. He could have stunned that a bit softer. Again, these are the things I do when I'm playing. I play risky shots, and when you start running balls around the table, things will go wrong very rapidly in Cowboy. Now this is an easy force follow for the carom. Problem now is you've got two balls isolated on rails here. So the obvious thing is pot the 3, come across the right side, and leave yourself a carom from the 3 to the 5. So you just got to get the pace right. Well, I don't know that he wanted to run into the 1. It's not done any harm. He's got another force follow onto the 5. And then he needs to get that 1 on the spot. Now again, if he puts the 1 on the spot, he's going to be above or below the 1, the 3 and the 5. He's going to play the 5 because the 5's going to spot, and then he's got the easy carom. But he's got to look at when's the right time to bring that 1 in play. The good thing about this is that he's getting good practice at the little force follows. Because the force follows are the shot you're going to play quite a bit in Cowboy. Now this is dangerous. I'll tell a lie, it's a pot. It's okay, it's a pot. I was thinking it was a carom. That's why you have to pay attention to what's happening in the top left hand side of the HUD. This has got to be, again, gentle. And you've just got to watch that edge. You get it too thin, you can actually miss it the right side of the 3 ball. And you get it too thick, you end up doing that. So now the good thing is that Coldest Pillow with that visit and run of 41, and that's a good run, has got himself right back in the game. Within 1 ball over the pocket, it was easy for Progressive Pool to get to the 90. Now he's got to pull off a shot because everything's caroms from 90 to 100 now. So now it's anybody's game. Now you can bank the 3 up the table and draw to the 5. That's a shot because it's a big target, that 5 ball. You can go forward and do 2 rails. The danger was that, because you've got to watch the line that the cue ball's going to kick into the object ball. And you could easily play a very good little 2 rail carom but push that 3 into the side pocket. The shot I was talking about, there was no risk of that. Now again, that was a good line for a 2-in-1 shot. If you'd missed the 1, you'd have a fair chance of hitting the 3. It would be good to get that 3 away from the side pocket. Now there's another 2-in-1 shot on here, but again there's a danger playing the 2-in-1 off the 1 ball. You can do a little. Well, as long as you see, the thing is this 3 ball wants to get into the side pocket. I wouldn't even be trifling with that there. I'd be cutting the 1 and coming up and off the rail and down. Oh, that's unlucky though. It's a good effort. Good evening to Mark. I had no intention of doing this. Because these matches are going to probably last 3 hours at least, or not far off. It might be a bit quicker than that because you know, the guys are scoring decent enough points. Good visit from Coldest Pillow, got him right back into this first rack, a run of 41, and that's good in anybody's book, an alternate Cowboy. Because now it's down to the nitty gritty. Now what you've also got to do with the caroms is look at making a carom, but also try to set the path of the ball that you're hitting so that it's going around or across a rail or going whatever it is towards the next ball that's available, because you're trying to set up your next carom. Doesn't always work that way, but there's usually good opportunities to do it. Well, this progressive pool character's not played anything, has he? He's not got a record in Cowboy. Whoever progressive pool is. Same with that other Rodney YouPlonker guy. Oh, that's unlucky. Now, problem with that is, this has left an easy carom here. Little edge of the... You've got to get this really soft and thin on the 5, because this cue ball will just leak away to the right. But he's caught it and scratched. So now, the problem for Coldest Pillow is, he can't play anything in the kitchen line, so he's got to go off the 5 and either 1 or 2 rails, or maybe even 3 rails, and take a line that's going to give him a 2-in-1 shot. Now that's a sucker shot he's playing, because he doesn't know the rule about the kitchen. He's about to find that out. There you go. Now there he's learned something. Yeah. And that tells you that Coldest Pillow doesn't play Cowboy, because he's committed the first cardinal sin in Cowboy with ball in hand in the kitchen, and played a ball that was in the kitchen. You see that 3 ball with the line that he was going to play the draw, the 3 ball was never going anywhere good. So all the shots now are a bit more hard work. This is actually a fairly regular Cowboy shot here, the 2 or 3 railer onto the 1. He's got that too thin. You've got to hit that. Oh, has he? He's got it. It's worked. I thought that was going to sneak around the back, but he just got nipped round the corner. That worked out very nice. And the good thing with this shot is the one will be heading over on the right side rail, as long as the cue ball doesn't hit the middle pocket. Well, he hasn't hit it. He's hit it soft. He could have hit that harder to get the 1 across the table. But he's put a run of 5 together here. Now a similar shot again. This time he's got to get to the either again the 2 rail or the thin 1 rail. And he's going the 2 rail this time. That was unlucky. But that could be a vital run of 5 and a big mistake by Coldest Pillow that gave Progressive Pool that opportunity. Now, is he trying to draw to it, or is he trying to go to the short rail and come in and kick the back of that 5? He's trying to get directly to it. And that's the other problem in the carom phase. When you get to the carom phase and you're trying to make a carom and you just miss it, the problem is the chances are you set up an easy carom for your opponent, a bit like this. Well, this isn't quite so simple. Now, again, it's a thin edge, but the problem is that you really don't want to hit that 1 direct. So you could. Now there is a shot on here that. See, he's going entirely a different direction, but there's a shot on here. You can draw this with bottom left English, and kick the cue ball into the 1 that way. But he's got a carom and a 5 the other way. Can't fault the guy for picking out the shots that are working for him. No, that's a default. That's a default rating he's been given. You know, because he's played enough 9-ball and everything, he's been given a default rating for Cowboy. He's never played Cowboy. Or if he had, he would have known about the kitchen rule. Let's put it that way. Well, that's finished pretty good for the outshot. That's exactly what you want for the outshot. But that big mistake with the ball in hand is what cost him. It cost him a run of 5 and it cost him another run of 3. And it also then lost him that first rack. So first rack goes to Progressive Pool. Let's jump back up to that other match, because that other match should be well into the second rack now. If we can get in that, his balls are still probably moving. I hope that's the case. Well, YouPlonkerRodney looking good to get to 90 here. Sergeresh is a little run of 13 there. But Rodney should be into the carom phase. Now, what he was trying to do there was just chip the one to have an open table, because that's the other thing. When you first come to the table, you're looking for a shot that you could probably play a pot and a carom at the same time. If you can run the cue ball into another ball, and that way your second shot is an open table shot where, well, watch the cue ball here. An open table shot where you can then play a pot or a carom, and if you can keep doing that in sequence, you'll have an open table for 2 or 3 shots. Watch the cue ball this time, and Sergeresh is getting no run of the ball there. So with ball in hand, Rodney can only go. When he's got to see if he's going to force volley, he needs to hope the 5 stays out of the way, and it's well out of the way. And again, the 5's just gone on top of the 1, which is no good. That would have been ideal if it was left or right of the 1 ball. He'd have been perfect there. But in fact, he's on a pot now. See, I keep losing track of the bloody game. He's on a pot, so it's actually fine. Ignore what I'm saying. And this is this is the problem at this time of night. I'm going downhill already, and I've got a bloody match at 10:30. I was intending to go to bed. Well, of course, I just realised as well, as an 89, he couldn't pot the 3. Yeah, he needed the 1. Thank God you're here, Larry, because I'm going to be in an awful state by 10:30 tonight, I'll tell you that. Right now, I am going downhill already. I knew I shouldn't have started this. I thought I'll kill some time and do this. Oh dear. But my concentration has gone right out the window. Well, I watched that end of the first rack, and Sergeresh faffed around while Rodney was faffing around trying to get out. Rodney had 4 or 5 attempts to get out, and he couldn't. And all the while that was happening, Sergeresh just couldn't put any caroms together. So Sergeresh can't say he never had any opportunities to rescue that first rack. But now's the time you want to put a 30-odd run, or or at least get to 90 before you give up the table. A second wing. You mean I win? You mean I get you now? Who the hell is this Sergeant Numpty? Why is he addressing me by my name? I don't like that. The people that who like to hide and be obscure and talk about me as if they know me. Right, so, well, you can go. Oh, I see the danger with that is that. So I was about to say you can go off the rail and kick the back of the 3. That way you're putting the 3 into play and you're staying the top side of the 3. That idea is never good, because you can always do that and skim off the ball and scratch. You've got to try and just keep your odds in your favour by playing a shot that's the least dangerous. Now, I mean, far be it from me to say that, because I do exactly stuff like that every time I play Cowboy. I just take risky shots all the time. But if you've got any intention of doing well in this, you've got to kick the ball from behind. You've got to be braver than you maybe want to be. You know, there's a thing in Cowboy where people are scared of using the natural line off a ball, because you don't have to. The thing about Cowboy is you don't have to spin the cue ball up if you're sitting, looking straight onto an object ball. You can use the line off that object ball depending on how thick you're hitting the object ball. So if you can just use the natural angles that are there, all the better. You don't have to be afraid of spinning a ball. In fact, you don't even need to have the time. You just need to see the angle that's there for the shot, and trust your instincts a lot of times. I suppose maybe a similar, I mean, although you're trying to play a carom, if you were trying to equate that to something in 9-ball, let's say you're trying to play a breakout shot in 9-ball where there's two balls together, then you're basically trying to play a carom. So you're either looking for a natural angle to get there, depending how you're potting the ball, or you're then having to use spin to get there. If you understand what I'm talking about. Good afternoon to Interchange X, isn't it? In fact, Interchange X is lying in wait for the winner of the 9ball.com Spudboy match, I believe, on the bracket. Well, Sergeresh is back on 60. His run was only 5. This rack isn't lost yet. Sergeresh has to believe that. But he has to, he can't be sitting with 4 or 5 attempts to get to 90. Because the longer it takes him to get to 90, the further down the line that Rodney gets to 100. So he needs to quit the faffing about and go on with it. And maybe just let loose a little bit. If he's trying to be too accurate, he's trying to be too precise, or he's too tight, he needs to loosen up. Well, this is my dream shot every day of the week. 5-ball, 3 rails to the 3-ball. I'm taking it on every time. I'm letting it run, and I'm taking the danger of the scratch in the top right-hand corner pocket. This is like a red rag to a bull for me, this shot. And that's going to scratch. That's the danger. See, the thing is, you got that too tight around the corner. You have to let it open a bit more, that shot. When you let it open a bit more, it goes that direction. Well, that isn't quite the line, but you know what I mean. It goes that direction, and then it kicks the 3 that way. So if you get it too tight, the scratch is then the more likely thing that's going to happen. And that's the danger with that shot. If you go into the back of the one, you're going to go along the rail and scratch. So Sergeresh is actually doing exactly the same as he did in the first rack. He messed about, and he kept giving Rodney chances. Rodney's still messing about here in 90. I'll tell you, I'd be quite annoyed as well if I was still stuck in 60 with 2 or 3 attempts at getting above 60 and still not getting there. Now, this is dangerous. Now, the safest shot is hitting a chunk of that 5-ball, going to the short rail, long rail, and into those 2 balls. I mean, if you're trying to go really thin to get them, you're asking for trouble. Well, he's got it. He's got far better eyes than I have. I would have went the other route because I wouldn't trust my eyes to get the edge of that. Now, this one ball is taking a good line. If he hits it with the right pace, he's sending the one ball back in play here, down towards this 5. Now, and really, the ideal thing to happen here with this carom is that if it's soft and the one just bumps back up towards the 5, they could be fairly close if he plays this at the right pace. Oh, he's went the other way. That's even better. Now, this is a little dinky double kiss, I think, on the 1. I don't think he can miss the 5. And he's on 95. Now, got to watch that line. Yeah, he's going to cut it to the short rail, avoiding the 3, and he'll stun into the 1. Now that might, if it keeps running, that might be not bad. Now the only danger is that is very, very double kissable, that 5 ball. That's what's more than likely going to happen here off that rail. He's trying to push it out of the way. Again, that's sensible. You know, you play the game often enough, you know that that's the safest route. Because you start going edges with a ball like that, you're always going to double kiss. Yes, that's why he's not. That's why he's obviously somebody who has been here and changed their profile, not naming names. So, welcome to Hairpig, welcome to Matt. We're keeping an eye on 2 matches. Coldest Pillow has just gone 1-0 down to Progressive Pool. This match, I don't know when the 2 matches started, to be honest with you. I think I never double checked, but they started round about 6 o'clock British summertime. Sergeresh has been on 60, it seems like an eternity. Now is he going to stun this in and try and bump to the 3? No, he's playing the bank. And all he's done is set up another easy carom for Rodney. Well, have you heard? Did you ever hear of Only Fools and Horses, Hairpig, which is a British sitcom that ran for about 20 years, back in the 80s into the 90s, and it was set in London. It was a No, if you haven't heard of it, then it's difficult to explain. But it's an older brother and his younger brother. The older brother looked after the younger brother, brought him up, and initially they had Grandad in the flat with them. So it was a sitcom with 3 people in it, 3 principal characters with other supporting characters in it. It became very popular. But Rodney was always called a plonker by his brother. Yeah, well, you need to go and watch some of the episodes of Only Fools and Horses. Well, that's an attempt to get out, and Sergeresh has only gained 3 points. Now, Sergeresh needs to get wise here, though. He can protect the 1 ball. I mean, he doesn't have to be trying to get caroms all the time and pots. If he comes to a situation where he's not got a good shot, then he can at least stop Rodney seeing the 1 ball. So you've got to use tactics as well to try and survive in the rack. I mean, he's at death's door here for 2-0. And this might not be too bad, because although he's missed the carom, he's left no shot. Now you can kick in off the back of the 1 here. He's got to go to the rail and kick in off the back of the 1. You've just got to, if you hit that back end of it, you have a good chance it could go in. Yeah, I hit it too thick, but it was the right idea. But Sergeresh can't get into any rhythm. Yes, there is 3 fouls in this here pig, and that's why you can get that's why you can get nasty in this game. If you're really desperate in a desperate situation, you can get nasty if you're given the opportunity to, and I certainly will if that happens. So Sergeresh on 75, a little force follow onto the 1. Problem now is the 5 needs to just slow up so he's got a fairly easy pot. Now he wants to go forward on the 5 ball and he wants to go past the 3 to give him at least a choice of 1 shot, if not a possible 2. Well, the angle was too thick and he's gone into the 3. So now this is a dodgy force follow because this is hard to judge the angle. This cue ball could open up quite wide down to the right hand side if you don't quite pick the line right. These force follows are a lot more difficult. You see, it's opening up too much, and a very minor adjustment. If you had a second go at that shot, you'd probably hit it. The problem with Cowboy is you don't get second goes at it. You have to get it right first time. But they're very difficult when they're a little bit more angle and offline. And of course now it's 2-0, so we will go back down to the bottom of the bracket, which is a first round match. These are all their first matches, these guys. And if you look at this, progressive pool is well that's worked. The voodoo has worked for Coldest Pillow there on my entry to the room, because that's jinxed progressive pool. And Coldest Pillow has a good chance here to advance on progressive pool and possibly get to 90. Now he's trying to do the stunt. Did he catch any of that? No, he didn't. Here's another similar shot from distance. These are probably the more difficult shots to judge. He's caught the edge. 5 balls. Well, the 5 ball and 3 ball is good for the follow-up carom. He's just got to pot the 1 and bring the cue ball over to a line where the carom's easy. Well, that we don't know. We don't know who Progressive Pool is. We don't know who Rodney YouPlonker is. Now that's not gone far enough. It's not gone far enough for comfort. If that cue ball was another foot to the left, the carom's dead easy. This is trickier. And if you're trying to just wafer thin the 5 to catch the 3, it's much trickier at distance. Yeah, he's got away with it and he's sitting good. Now, so again, with the 5 ball going in the spot, he's got another force follow. Now this is much easier because it's a narrower line and it's a much easier line, and he's played a good few force follows that I've seen, and he's been pretty good in most of them apart from that one, which was probably the easier force follow, and he didn't get enough angle on it. Now there are days in Cowboy where you'll spot that every time and you'll hit it every time, and then there are days where you'll just be slightly offline. Everybody does it. But again, here's a similar shot for Progressive Pool. This is a very simple force follow. But you've got to bank that 5 ball up table so that it's near the corner pocket so you've got a shot. Good evening to Cobra. No, it's not semi. I don't think semi-pro's that daft. Uh-oh, big mistake there. Well, it's only cost him 6 points, but Coldest Pillow should be potting the 5 ball, get it back onto its spot, play the 5-1 carom. I think Coldest Pillow's gone to the bathroom, went for a drink, thinking he's going to be a while. No. Now, I think he's looking to play for the open table. So he might have been better to just take his medicine there, though. Okay, he's still got a pot in the 5, but had he set it up half decent, he'd have been good for the carom. Now he's got to think about what he's doing here for the follow-up carom after he pots this. Now that might be too straight. No, he's fine. In fact, he could probably pot the 5 and still catch the 1. And then he'll have to think about the 5-3 carom at distance. No, he's going to go around the corner again. Well, Coldest Pillow's got himself in a lead, but it might not last long. Has it got the spin? Yeah. So this is an open table shot. Watch the cue ball. Oh. So now it has to be a carom. And again, it's a force follow at distance. That's not a bad line that he's on at the moment. Welcome to Run Out Rob. You know, you've got to pick the line and just have faith that you're on it. I mean, to me that looks pretty good. But you see how it opens up? Well, he's got a double kiss there off the 5 onto the 3, I think, so he's good. So he's got away with that one. So you take what you get in this game. Now again, I'd be coming down into the kitchen just for safety's sake, because again, you've given yourself at least a chance of 2 shots. Now he's maybe hit that too hard. Yeah. Now he's in trouble. Yeah, he's in trouble. Because he's far too close to judge this. The 1 ball, he's trying to get to the 3. I don't know. At the end of the day, I don't know what he tried there, because that was a nothing shot. But I thought he was going to try and force forward to the rail and bump the 3 there. So Coldest Pillow's been given every opportunity now. Now I don't know whether he can play the draw and get the bump and get the 2 points he needs to get to 90. This is what you also have to be aware of, where exactly you are on the scoreboard. I haven't up to look at the angle. Well, that's him on 90. So now he's got a very good opportunity here to get moving. Problem is the 3 ball wants to pot. Now if he overcuts it slightly, it'll go at the jaw and he'll still hit the 5. In fact, it's well away from the jaw. Right, now delicate soft touch off the 5. Watch that 5 ball. Now, what's the safest shot here? The safest shot, well, that's too... I mean, you could hit that with right English and go to the rate. That would probably straighten it a wee bit. It's difficult to execute though, that 1 ball to the 5. But there is a shot on a good day, you could get it off the edge of that with a bit of right English, I think, and still hit the 5, but it's tough. Now, the 1 to the 3 has got to be a bit of spin to get that to the rail quick, unless you're trying to come off the rail to directly to it. Neither of them are easy. But he's often running into the caroms, so it wasn't a great table. Sometimes the caroms fall into place where you then get on a little roll. Now, there's a bunch of us have probably, gone straight through the caroms and out. I've done that on a few occasions. Some days it's good. Other days you're there for half an hour trying to get one carom, let alone putting 3 or 4 together. Yes, so that shot I was talking about off the edge of the one, off the left edge of the one, but with a bit of right English in the cue ball, you can make that shot, but you either get it and you look good, or you're miles away from it and you look like an umpty. But really, you should only be playing shots like that if you're really desperate and you can't see any other alternative. It's all about just trying to stay at the table and get as many caroms as you can, make hay while the sun shines. Now the danger for Coldest Pillow now is that he's got his opponent breathing down his neck again. That hasn't finished good. But you know what I'd be doing here? I would have no qualms in going 5 ball, short rail, long rail, big target to hit the 1 and 3. He's trying to go rail. He's looking for an angle off the rail to get to the 3, but I don't see it. So 5 ball, cut it to the rail, up and down, big target to hit one of them. Can't miss them. The worst thing that would happen is get in the gap between them. Huge target. Got to watch how you bank the 5 though, because the 5 can end up over at this corner pocket. Now that's not got the legs. He's not hitting them. He's just not hitting them enough. But that was perfect. That was going to bump and spin and hit the 1. But it's actually a big miss now. Coldest Pillow. Let's have a look at what he's got. Now he's trying to convince himself he can do something here. That's going to spin and catch the edge. Well, I thought that was going to go flying past it, but he's actually played that very well. Now, has he got enough angle on it? Nah. Yeah. Needs to bump. Well, this is where you get a bit crazy and play the firmish stun, and you hope the 3 ball bumps the 5 or something. But it's went way too straight. It doesn't matter how you get the caroms here, it's just about getting yourself away from your opponent, especially when you're 1-0 down. You're desperate to try and get back into the match. And when you're on a run of 3, it might be worthwhile to actually, you could just push the 3 to the rail. I mean, you've got to think about the negative safety shot here. Just push the 3 to the rail, make things difficult. At least make your opponent have to do something to get a score. Because if you start being over brave, you risk losing these 3 points. There's nothing wrong with just spreading the balls apart and forcing your opponent to make a carom, not leaving him anything easy. In actual fact, what he's done there might be not too bad either. There's ways of trying to protect your points. If you're going all out aggression to try and get to that line, mistakes can make you lose your points. You make the table easy for your opponent, and he's the one that runs out. Well, again, the 1 ball's inviting. This could be a 2 and 1. He's gone behind it, and again he's not giving it. His progressive pool's not giving it the pace to get there. He's under hitting these, or he's been. Well, of course he might be being erring on the cautious side as well, because I'd be letting that run a bit more to make sure it gives me the best opportunity of getting a 2 and 1 shot. Needs to go to the rail and straighten. Now this is a similar shot to what we saw earlier on. He needs to bump that 5 ball to the rail and force through. I think, can he do it? Let's have a look. I think he can. I think if you play the shot right, I think you can get that going with top spin towards the 3. This is where you've got to use your imagination and visualise the shot you're trying to play, but I think you can do it. Oh, the idea was right. Welcome to Bankster. So for any latecomers, we're just going to nip backward and forward between these two matches. In fact, now that I mention it, let's just have a quick look at the other match while this one's going on. Of course, the other match is Rodney YouPlonker, or YouPlonkerRodney against Sergeresh. Sergeresh 2-0 down. We'll jump in there quickly to see how things are progressing, because this match could be over fairly soon. And at the moment, Sergeresh again still chasing YouPlonkerRodney. And we'll stick with this Coldest Pillow one, because Coldest Pillow's got a chance here to get back into the match if he can make the most of it. Now he's on 97. Right, well, this is where you have to, I think, you've got to play to the 5 and get this at the right pace where the 3 ball might be fairly adjacent, the 1 ball might be adjacent to the 3. You've got to, you know, the 1 ball will come around and out, sort of, and then the 3's over the hole. He's trying to spin behind the 1, didn't get enough into it. Problem with that is that, you see, that's the problem. And this is where the end of the match can turn very quickly, or the end of this rack can, because he just set up an easy starter for his opponent. The only danger, of course, at the moment is that 3 ball over the side pocket, so Progressive Pool will want to stay well away from that, unless he's got a surefire opportunity where he can play the 3 at some point and get it away from there. Well, this is an easy shot to kick the 1 bottom left-hand English and get the line right on the 5 ball and bump the back of the 1 and push the 1 up the table. He thinks he can get there without the little bit of left. Yeah, he's took the right line. Now where's the 5 going? Well, again, he's in a similar situation where he's got a run of 3. Now this could get ugly if he gets this too thick. That was well done. Same again, if he picks the line right off this 5 ball, he needs to go narrow. If he's trying to chip the 1, he needs to go narrow to the rail. Is that wasn't enough, was it? Not quite, and there's what's happened. Disaster. You see what happens when you're so focused on making this other carom, and he had at least 3 good points in the board there, and he's lost them all with a scratch in the side, and the 5 ball's now ugly. And he's got to play the 5. The 1 ball's now ugly as well. And this rack could go on for a while here if none of these guys takes the initiative. And well, certainly where the 1 ball is, I'd be looking for any opportunity to get that 1 ball back in play. Yeah. Oh, I mean, I've had many a disaster. Many a disaster. Yeah, Progressive Pools, he's trying to minimise the likelihood of silly things happening by, hitting them sort of dead weight. Doesn't want to risk running the cue ball, unlike myself, whereas I'm all for that. I've got a he who dares wins attitude to Cowboy. I just like to run the cue ball and pay the price for it. Now, there's a right time and a wrong time to pot this one ball. I mean, the one ball's not over the pocket. You can bump that and get it out of there, but how long are you prepared to leave it sit there? And that's going to pot the 3. So now, Coldest Pillow is the one who's got the gift of a start here. And he could be out. He could be out if he can get this right. Now he's got to play it. See, well, the first thing I would have did there was I would have looked at making that first carom with the 3 going to the short rail and back into the table. I would have hit that harder. You see, what you've got to think about the setup. You know, he was happy to take the point. Now again, watch that 5. Well, if that was me, I'd be taking the money and running right now. I'd be just rolling safe, making my opponent and say to them, look, if you want to get a point, then be brave and go for it. But I'm just going to protect my points. That's what I'd be doing. It's too thin an edge off the right side to get around the angles and still bump that 5, but there is a possibility of it. So there is, but that's just being crazy. Now, Coldest Pillows played the safe, and Progressive Pool took the opportunity to get the 1 potted. You know, it's obviously a foul, but there's nothing that's easy that's on for Coldest Pillow. Now, that's exactly what I would have done there. I would have potted the 1 knowing that if I'm leaving the cue ball down this direction, if you're going to make a carom, you're going to have to make it. It ain't going to be set up for you. And that's never going to get there. Now, this is where you then take the opportunity to go the 2 rails into the back of the 5 off the 1. But you see, I'd be doing this as a 2-way shot. I'd be hitting this a lot harder. He's only hitting it direct, and he's going to scratch. You see, I would have hit that a lot harder to play the 2-way shot. If I cut across and missed that, I'd a chance of hitting the 3. So there's times to be crazy and brave, and I would have played that shot exactly the same every time. I would have hit it a lot harder for the 2-in-1 shot, because the 2-in-1 shot says you have to look at. No, it isn't. And that's gone too tight too soon. And again, there's a big mistake. You know, if you're going to play them at a medium pace, and you know the line that the object ball's going to, then you've got to get the first carom. You know, you set it up there. There's a force following the 1 up to the 5, but you're running the cue ball. There's a draw. But you're risking banking the 1. You can draw and back into the 3 here. This is dangerous. But the force follow he's playing, he's going to punch this 1 up the table, send it back down towards the 3 and run up to the 5. This is a reasonable angle to get there, but I think he's gone to the rail too soon, has he? Yeah. So now, this has got to be dead weight. You don't want to cut the 1 in, the 3 ball into the pocket, and you don't want to cut the 1 either. So you've got to hit this at a half ball, or maybe a 3rd ball, and let it just run to the 3. Let's have a look what he's doing here. Yeah, back of the 3. Okay, it's not sitting pretty, but that was the safest route at that pace. Now, this is a shot you'll play a lot of time in Cowboy. You've got to get the edge of that and get the spin working to get around the angles. What am I talking about? He's in 100. I'm getting carried away watching caroms and forgetting about this. Now, what pocket did they call? The opposite pocket. Now, the good thing about this is he's not leaving an easy carom if he just plays this dead weight. If he just plays it dead weight, he's not leaving an easy table. Yeah, he's got it too thick. Well, he has left an easy table because he hit it too thick and he's brought the 1 into play. Well, Coldest Pillow's in a strong position. And the problem for Progressive Pool is he's obviously going for his shots, and he's not also lined up the follow-up shot. But he has to be careful that he's not setting the one ball up over a pocket somewhere. And now he's in trouble. The only thing is, though, that the one ball's in an ugly place to get out from. Now, here's a thing that Progressive Pools, he's going all out to get caroms. If that was me, I would kick into the back of the 3 there and protect the one ball. You see, now he's fouled, and he's gifted the rack to Coldest pillow. You see, he should have thought about protecting the one there, and there was nothing to stop him and just going to the rail and kicking into the back of the 3, and he couldn't get to the one ball. So Coldest pillow now will realise that the one ball is out the kitchen, even though it's on its spot, and he can draw to the pocket, or he can force follow into the side. I don't know what pocket he's called, because I wasn't paying attention, but he's got to get out here. He's done all the hard work. And Progressive Pool got what he deserved there, because what the hell happened there? Was that off its spot? What did he do there? Did he call the wrong pocket? Somebody tell me what he's done there, because I missed it. I missed what happened there. Did he call the wrong pocket and he must have? This cue ball's going to scratch. Oh, it hasn't. So I see he's made 2. Well, the first rack he made the howler by playing a ball in the kitchen when he had ball in hand, and that lost him the first rack. Now he had probably one of the easiest outs that you'll get in Cowboy, ball in hand and the one ball in the kitchen, and he's called the wrong pocket. I mean, it's not all over yet, but it could pretty much well be soon enough. Now, this should be out. He's double checking. He should be out here. Now, he's putting a bit of left in this. I don't like that. You see, that's why I don't like it. If that was me, I would have been playing that with a bit of right in case I catch the jaw and it pushes it into the pocket. Just a wee tiny feather of right. Well, where's this one ball going? Well, again, you've just got to trust your vision. The shot is up as you call the cue ball into that pocket. He's trying to draw into the corner. Now he's got to hope the one ball gets out of the way. Well, that's Coldest pillow. That's a good thing about Cowboy. When you're starting the game, you've never really played it. Well, I mean, these Rodney, YouPlonker and Progressive Pool, surprisingly, the fact that nobody knows who they are, they've got a fair idea of what they're doing in Cowboy, so let's just say that they're not new players. What are you wanting, Mark? Wait till you have a drink. Or have I missed something? Oh, he called the middle pocket. Aye, he called the middle pocket and he drew into the corner. Well, what did Matt ask? I've missed it. Anyone been really good at Cowboy so far? I think, was it Rodney YouPlonker I watched get a 49 run in his first game, I think. But I think Coldest Pillow says he has to put the bin out. Right, so we'll let him go and put the bin out. Right, but it is one apiece there now. So what I was saying there is the good thing about Coldest Pillow is he's learning the hard way the mistakes that you make in Cowboy. Everybody's done them. You know, call a ball, call a pocket, and then you're going round the table and you don't know what end of the table you're at, and suddenly you called the wrong pocket. Everybody's done stupid stuff like that. Well, YouPlonkerRodney's in a run of 36 at the moment. Now, what's he looking at here? Is he looking to kick the 3 in? That was always very, very tight. But the most important thing there is he's kept his points. And this is all deja vu for Sergeresh. Sergeresh is always chasing his opponent's tail. He's not. I don't think Sergeresh has really constructed anything of note, although I haven't watched enough of it. Aye, Cobra's the bloody champion. This is scratching. Cobra's the current champion. No, it isn't scratching. See, the thing is, Cobra played the last tournament where it was a case of minimising risk in order to preserve his points and obviously stay at the table, and that's what won him it. You know, being conservative and not being over ambitious, unlike myself, which is why I didn't last long in it. If you want to see how not to play Cowboy, watch later on tonight, and you'll get good evidence of where things can go badly wrong for you because you're playing too loose with the cue ball. Yeah, sensible shots, and one, shots where the odds are in your favour. But I think that this match here is not going to last much longer. I'm prepared to stick my neck in the block and say there isn't going to be a sensational comeback here. I don't think Sergeresh has got it in him. Well, keep saying it, Matt. There's the simple rule, and I've told that to everybody, and it's a pretty good simple rule. Whenever you're playing a shot, if the balls are there or thereabouts in the middle of the table, you've got to stay above or below to give yourself the opportunity to get your follow-up carom or a pot. Especially if you're leaving a carom, you don't want to just leave yourself one option of a carom. If you can, you want to leave yourself two options. So if you stick to that sort of general rule, it's good grounding for you stringing balls together and running up a score. It doesn't always work out that way. Then you have to be imaginative. Now, you see, that's the thing about the carom phase as well, and I was talking about that earlier on. You can't just be, taking a carom for the sake of it. You have to think, well, how can I hit this second ball in such a way that it's going to is going to move that ball into a better position for the next follow-up shot. So if you can take a line where the balls are going maybe a couple of rails and they're heading up towards the loose third ball, once you try and get them in that sort of gather, that gives you an opportunity to very quickly get the rack over and done with, or at least get yourself onto that last scratch. Now, there are days where that will work out nice. There are other days where you'll be trying to gather the balls and you'll be in a run of 6, and then suddenly the ball that you're running goes into a pocket and you've lost all your 6 points. It happens. It happens. But this is just a matter of time, and this match will be done. Now this is well, you've got to watch the stun here, because this 3 ball's going to have pace in it, as well as the cue ball going along the rail to bump that 5. See, the 3 ball's going to come back up the table and go to no man's land. That's the only problem with that. He had to hope that that was going to bump the 1 there to try and sort of stay there or thereabouts. So now it becomes a little bit more hard work. So, left edge of the 1. Again, it's not got the pace, I don't think, has it? Is it going to get there? Oh, it's round the back. Well, he didn't play that as a 2-in-1 shot. I don't know whether he did or he did, but I would have always played the 2-in-1 shot. I would have been aiming more for the 5, but with a fair bit of spin in the cue ball in case I got around the back of it and hit the 3. So, how can Sergeresh help himself here? Well, first thing he does is he draws back off the 1 and gets into the kitchen. That's the first thing he does. You see, he's not thinking, because he's now in no man's land out the kitchen, more or less. If he'd stayed in the kitchen below the 1, he had choices. Now he's got 1 choice here, and he's stunned. Got the bonus of the 3, but he's playing fast and loose, because I think he's beyond desperate now. Now, if he plays the 3 soft enough, if he can stay there or thereabouts right side, he's got a fairly easy carom. But again, well, he's hitting it with pace to come back across twice. So is he going to get there? It's now tricky. But can he get the 3 out of the way? Yes, he can. Watch the cue ball. So he's got a 5. That's VP Monster. He's got a 5 back on its spot, and now he's stayed below the 5. So now he's got a choice. See, this is a good example of a choice. He had a force fall off the 5, or he had the other carom he's just played, and now he's got. Now he's got to pay attention to what he's on here in points as well, by the way. Now he should have potted the 5 there for a start. He should have run the 5 into the top corner pocket. So now he's not looking, is he? Yes, he is. Watch the cue ball. There's the old sucker scratch. Oh, yiddly. Well, he's on 87, and he's got to hit this soft. Got to hit this soft, because if he doesn't, he'll do something numptish like that. And there is a numpty shot of the night, folks. You've just witnessed it. Commentator's eye called it. If you don't hit the 3 soft, the cue ball's going to run and you're going to risk getting the extra point. And Sergeresh has blown a gasket. And there's only certain numbers of numpty shots that happen in Cowboy. The sucker scratch, which is off either the 5 to the 3 or the 5 to the 1, where you scratch off the ball into the corner. That's a sucker scratch. Everybody does that when they're new to Cowboy. And then there's the other sucker shot, which is you pot a ball to get to 90, but the cue ball's running around the table and you get the extra carom and you blow all the points you've just made. So I think the way this is going, it will be done and dusted fairly soon. Now, well, got to overcut the 3, or if you've got to watch the side pocket as well here if he's trying to get to the 1. Now I'm not sure what he's doing. He's trying to dead weight it. That might go round the back. Yep. $29 points. What 29 points is that, Rob? What did I miss? Little draw. Got to hope the 3 ball stays out of the way. Well, he didn't pick the line off the 3 to start with there. And I've done that plenty of times. Try to trade, play the draw straight onto the 5 ball and then you go flying past it. I've done that plenty of times. Well, this might be hasta la vista time. He was on a run of 29. Ah, now I know what you're talking about. Aye, well that was probably his best run in the match. I'm hazarding a guess it probably was. Right, so now what Rodney wants to do is make sure he can see the 1. And, well, he's got to just follow this straight into the pocket. He's in a perfect line here. This is game, set and match. Although he's actually at an angle in this 1 ball. He wants, he has straightened up now. Well, game over. And it was all too comfortable for YouPlonkerRodney. 3 racks to 0 win. And if we look at the bracket, he's now into round 3 and he's going to have a wait to get his next opponent. Meanwhile, we'll go down and we will see that Coldest Pillow is on a run of 48 here now. He needs to be brave, but he needs to be careful because this is painful to lose these. He's on a pot, and this is good. This is good. I think if it slows up, he's good from the 3 to the 1, and you've got to keep an eye on the scoreboard when you're into these long runs. So he's learning pretty quickly here, Coldest Pillow. I'd be more than happy with a run of 54, and this is also a force following the 5. Got to be careful here that he doesn't skim off the edge of that 1, but I think he can hit this fairly full. I think he can hit this fairly full without scratching. He's more than likely going to pot the 1. I'll tell a lie, he's on a pot. What am I talking about? Right, I've lost the plot again, folks. Watch the cue ball. I think he's beginning to get the general idea of how you go about this. Let's just give him credit for that. Again, just got to be cautious. And that again is just the safest way to do it. Off the rail into the back of the ball. Think of what the safest line is to get there. That's usually the best line to take, where you're at no risk at all. So now he's in 78. Run goes to 63. 2.5 hours until my match is due up. I had planning going to bed for a nap. That ain't gonna happen. Well, he can overcut the 3. Oh, he's on a pot again. I'm definitely going downhill quick here. I need another drink, as a matter of fact. Maybe it's dehydration it's doing it. I'll have another drink. That's one thing we don't have in the stats for Cowboy, is what your high run is. You know, obviously, if you'd made like, if the stats were showing the high runs for Cowboy, it would show whether you'd made it just the once or 2 or 3 times. Like, for example, Coldest Pillow's high run would show as 68. Let's say he had another 68 and another rack, then, you know, the stats would show 68 times 2, something like that. But there's, other than you making notes yourself, you have no really any way of knowing who's got a high run, I don't think. And then, of course, it's just whether the other people are witnessing it while it's happening, whether they're taking notes. But that was a very good run from Coldest Pillow. You know, from losing and from making a couple of rookie mistakes, he's got himself into this game, and he's at least let his opponent know that he's what he might have thought might have been not too difficult. And there's Progressive Pool has just lost those 11 points there. And now Coldest Pillow looking to be at 90 by the time this visit's done. So he's turned a 1-0 deficit into possibly a 2-1 lead here. The cue ball getting there. Well, now it's little feather edge, 1 to the 5. Watch the cue ball. Oh, just caught that 5 too thin. Almost scratched. And again, you're just glad that happened while you were on only 1 point. You don't want to be on, well, of course, Coldest Pillow's just trying to get to 90, which he's now on. Now again, this should be a fairly straightforward carom, just dead weight pace, no pace in it. Now, thin to get to the rail and out onto the 1 or the 1 ball direct. See, the problem with the 1 ball direct is you're putting it dangerously close to the pocket when you're still only 92. So if you'd risked thinning it and going to the rail to bump the 1, you might have got it more into the table. And he's going to lose them. That's the frustrating part about the carom phase, is that. So Progressive Pool way back in 46, he'll obviously get the 1 ball in play in the not too distant future, like right now. So that does Coldest Pillow a favour, gets the 1 back in play. Well, this is where you cut the, well, this is one option. You cut the 1 ball in, you let the cue ball run to the short rail over to the left hand side, and you'll get an easy 3-5 combo. As long as you don't go too high into the table. You want to be, see, that's the problem, that's too high in the table. If you cut that properly and come over here, you'd easy carom 3 to 5. See, if you let the pace run out too much, you do that and you end up in trouble. You've got to err on the other side and keep it really low or close to that short rail up top. But he decided to take the risk that time. do a bit of running in the cue ball to get the survival carom, which he's done, and now he's set up for the follow-up here after he pots the 1. Now, do you play this gentle to push the 3 to the pocket or pot the 3? Yeah, see, now he's got a choice. So, if he's, I don't know whether, let's have a look at the angle. What would your best option be? That's not good enough because he hasn't gone high enough. I don't think he wanted to be higher. Now the danger here is whether he's going to get right in there and scratch. He's avoided that. So when you're behind, you know, you've got to take risks, especially with Coldest Pillow still not being into the caroms. Coldest Pillow might not be first to get to the caroms the way this is going. That 3 ball going in would be handy, which it has done, because there's another force follow to come, or a draw off the 5 onto the 1. You've got a choice of how you go about doing this. He's not hit this, has he? You know, it's a pot. I've lost track again for about the 4th time tonight. I keep thinking he's on caroms. He's definitely on a carom now, but similar shot. He can either play the draw or he can do the force follow. Is that going to have the legs? He hasn't hit it. I mean, that was a gimme carom, and that's a big mistake. I mean, he's got a run of 32, but that's a big mistake not to get there in that one, because Progressive Pool was favourite to get to 90 there, and that might be costly. Well, again, and the problem is he's just gone straight to the rail. So if he's got the angle, he can go forward and run to the left rail and come back across, but stay below the 1 ball if he can, or just slightly above the 1 into the top of the kitchen there. He's checked it up. That's come to the worst line again. See, if he had just maybe had the line to run out, you know, going that side of the kitchen isn't a problem because you get the easy 1 to the 5. And well, he's got to 90. This looks as if it's going to be a nail-biter 3rd rack here. So that takes him to 89. And, well, it's a 2-in-1 shot off the 1, around the angles, onto the 5, or if you miss the 5, you get the 3. And he's caught the 5. That was a perfect 2-in-1 shot there. Well, I would be playing the 2-in-1 again off the 1. Again, he's trying to be really cautious, but I would have went for the 2-in-1 shot again off that 1 ball, onto the 5, around the angles, onto the 5 or onto the 3. But now it's a race to the finish line, both players on 90. Is that narrow enough? Yes, it is, and it's bumping the 1 out slightly. And he might not be too bad on this 5-3. Now, if he banks the 5 in the right line and he can do it, he can send the 5 back across to the long rail on the right. He's got to watch he doesn't hit this the wrong way. He could bank it into the side pocket. Trying to stun onto the 3 here. He's got to be careful. No, he's playing the draw. Has he got the legs? Just. And can he play the force follow, more importantly? Yes, he can. Now, watch the line that the 1 ball's taken. Well, does he not think he can just push that past the 5, or is it too tight? Oh, maybe it is. Well, maybe it is. Now, you've got to get more top on this to get the spin working, but you could easily spin out the back of the 5 here with this shot. Yeah, he's caught it. He did catch it, but he has bumped and caught the 5. So he got a wee bit lucky there, got a lucky roll. But again, you take whatever you can get. And that's not bad either. Now, this, you want to bump the 5 to the rail and around the other side of the 3 if you can, hard enough. Not quite as hard as that though. Well, again, the 2-in-1 shot is on that way, and that way, or a line a bit like that, you know, to try and get around and either hit the 1 and come down and hit the 3. Something like that. It's more like I'd be more than likely playing for the 3 ball here because I like the line that's off that 5 down to the 3. It's quite a big target. Well, that's another 2-in-1 shot though. That was well played. That worked 2-in-1 that direction as well. And here's another 2-in-1 shot to the 5 ball or the 1, depends on the pace you play it at. And that's worked out as well. And here's another 2 rail into the back of the 1 shot here off the 5. This is a big target again. He's on 97. He's running the caroms as 7, which is excellent. He just got to watch the side pocket. Well, he didn't get there, but that's a good little run, and that really ramps the pressure up on progressive pull. I mean, if whenever you can stick a run of 7 caroms together, that is very well done. Is this going to have the legs? I think it has. Well, got to play the 2-in-1 here, progressive pull. 1 ball to the 5, to the 3. But he's going the direct route. And that's what happens. You see, anything crazy like that can happen. The safer shot was the 2-in-1 shot. You know, whenever you think it ain't going to happen, it's going to happen in this game. And the safest shot was a 2-in-1 shot every day of the week. That's the one I would have been playing. Because there's no way that you're going to, you know, you'd be really, really unlucky to scratch if you took my option. But the option he took, you saw what happened. And now it's given Coldest Pillow a great chance to get the lead. Got to watch the 1 ball though. Watch the line he's taking here. This is dangerous. Is he going to get there? Oh, it's caught the point. And the worst thing about that is when you get balls getting close, you're leaving sometimes your opponent that easy start. And this 1 ball will come back into play, I think, with the pace. Is it going to be blocked out? Oh dear. Well, now you've got to be brave off the 5 ball. Or play the. Can he get away with playing the draw? Oh, you know, this is dangerous. I'd be going rails every day of the week here. I would never be looking at drawing that because you're potting the 5. Oh, that's going to find the gap. Well, I still prefer. I mean, you can play the stun here. You just got to watch where the one ball's going, and watch the double kiss. And he's avoided that. He's on 99, and now, well, good luck whatever way you choose here. Now, again, if you're trying to get to the one ball for this carom, you've got to watch where the three ball's going, because that can go in the corner. Oh, and he's lucky, because that cue ball got in the way there, and it stopped the three ball from scratching. That could have been a complete disaster. Watch the 5. Well, that's dead now, and Coldest Pillow should stay well away from the 5 ball, and Progressive Pool's chances are now winning this rack are slim. They are slim to 0 at the moment, and he has to look at an opportunity to get that 5 ball in play. He can't leave the 5 ball sitting there, because that's no good to him. But now wouldn't be the right time to pot the 5 though, because that would be leaving a possible carom on for Coldest Pillow. And likewise, with Coldest Pillow needing to get to 100, he's going to have the hard work to do as long as that 5 ball stays there. But he can risk the bank on the 1 and stun to the 3. And again, Progressive Pool coming to the table, chatting and playing. Chatting and playing. What have I missed? Good evening to Semi-Pro. Mark's confusing me when he's just typing random text like that and not explaining it to me, because I don't know what the hell I'm missing. Now, here's another thing. When you're in the situation that Progressive Pool is in, didn't think you were streaming because you... Yeah, no, I didn't intend to do it, but I never realised that there was 2 matches on at a similar time. So when I finished my dinner and I came online, or came back to the lobby, I thought, well, what will I do for the next hour or 2? And I thought I might as well, because I was hoping to get a sleep, but well, what I was saying there is Progressive Pool. Well, he's took the bull by the horns there. The problem is he's not done it at the right time. Although, has he covered the edge? I think he can get to the edge of that 1. Problem is the 5 ball's in the way of the 3 railer, so he can only get it from the left side. So there's no way he's getting out here. I haven't seen what pocket he's called yet. Yeah, I mean, you've obviously got to call a pocket, but he's calling the 1 in the corner. He's never getting there, because the 5 ball's in the line. But at least the way the table's set up, the Progressive Pool has to play a shot here. There's nothing set easy at all. He's caught the knuckle, and what's more, he's left a fairly easy out here for a 2-1 lead for Coldest Pillow. Oh, by the way, that's what I meant to say. Well, he needed to stun that. You've got to stun that. You can't baby it. You know, when you pick the line and you see where the cue ball wants to go, you got to stun it in. None of this trying to nussmaid it into the pocket. That was an easy out there. What was I saying? Right, explain to everybody, semi-pro, on this video that you put in your channel about this guy Jeff who was playing Casino Jim. It must have been earlier this morning, I would imagine. That's when Casino Jim plays in some of the tournaments, early in the morning. I was obviously at work and you saw something weird going on. It looked like bad sync, but the problem is everything was happening in the same sequence all the time, which looked a bit sort of dodgy. Has Steve given any comments on what he saw? In case anybody hasn't seen it, go to Semi-Pro's YouTube channel, have a look at the last video he's put up, which is a video he made on his phone. He didn't think to go into the room and actually record it properly. He thought it's better just looking at the screen and recording it on his phone. That'll be better quality. But anyway, you can make up your own mind what the hell was going on there, but it did look a bit weird, to say the least. There's being out of sync, and then there's weird things happening. Let's just put it that way. He didn't take a shot for like 5 minutes. He then played a shot, lost position. Somehow he reset the shot. Aye, stuff like that happening. Yeah, and it did happen in a sequence. I get bored watching it, to be honest with you. But yes, it did happen in a strange sequence. Interesting to find out what Steve thinks on it. If actually Steve's paid any attention to it. Meanwhile, back to business here. This match, this third rack ain't over yet. And Progressive Pool on 96, now on 97, and again he's going to have to make a shot, and he can do it off the 5 to the 3. He can go from the, well, the crazier shot would be the 3 to the 1, because the side pocket's an issue there. The scratch, the pot and the 3's on. The 5 to the 3's a shot. Watch the bank on the 5 though, depending on the pace. Well, you see, that he tried to get that coming back with a spin rather than stunning it with the pace, because the risk then was the bank on the 5. Look at the line that 5 ball was taking to the side pocket. But he's not left anything easy either for Coldest Pillow, but the cut and bring the cue ball back into the side pocket here is certainly on. And didn't get the line, and this is the frustrating part about it. But if Progressive Pool gets his act together here, he could also be out. Did that, where was that Jeff guy from? I never noticed it. What flag did he have? Was he from one of these third world countries like England? Oh aye, so aye, yes, he's obviously from Vietnam, because they all have an attitude about them. I noticed Steve kicked a guy with the NIGERRR name, or the NIGGERRRR, because he booted him for 24 hours, told him to change his name. His flag was USA. That means it's stub then. I mean, Stubbs got a dodgy connection, hasn't he? Well, we'll need to keep an eye out for him then. In fact, the thing is that when I get out of my bed tomorrow morning, I'll be on looking for a game of Cowboy Double, so he may well be on at a similar time, so rest assured I'll be recording whatever I see. It was it was us that brought that language to America. We brought the industrial language over the Atlantic. What? This guy Jeff sends you friend requests, Cobra? I didn't think you had any friends. Well, Coldest pillow. In the meantime, with all that chatting, I never even saw him getting out. I never saw him winning the third rack. But Coldest pillow has learned very quickly a general good idea on how to play this game. His high run, 68? I mean, that's good to beat anybody. Provided you can do the business in the caroms if you get there first. So he's already put himself in the firing line as a target. But Progressive Pool is looking to get a response in here very early in this fourth rack. Oh dear. And then does stuff like that. He's very cautious trying to play a little touchy carom, soft carom like that for fear of scratching, and then he doesn't hit the ball. We've seen him been short on caroms because he's not letting the ball run enough. And there he's put all the hard work in and getting 29 or something on the board, and then boom, down the pan it goes. But he's going to be back in straight away here. Coldest pillow with just a run of 5. LS3 signed up for the 9-ball daily edition. Larry, you better get yourself in there. Watch the cue ball, the sucker scratch, and Progressive Pool has fallen into the trap. This time he made sure he stunned to get there, but whenever you do that on that shot, you are asking for trouble. More often than not, you're going to scratch because you're going to hit it half ball either side and you're going to go straight into the corner pocket. Oh dear. Well, Coldest Pillow's last 2 visits have been crap. That's one way of describing it. Given the fact that Progressive Pool has had a run and then lost the points, that's a good shot. Watch the cue ball. Yeah, Coldest Pillow, when you're given those opportunities, there's 2 chances there, and he's really not scored anything. He could have had a chance there. Well, he had 2 chances himself to get himself a good little lead on the board there. Well, that's going to go round the back. Right, so here's a third visit for Coldest Pillow, albeit he's not got an easy table by the look of it. He's going to have to pot the 3 and just stay where he is, and that's perfect. So he's got the idea straight off the bat there, stay low, give yourself at least a chance of the carom, and he would like that 5-ball to pot, but it stayed in the table. So now he can play the combo. Problem with that is he's not really lining up a carom. You can get the spin off the rail into the 3 or the 5 if he gets lucky. I don't know whether he did or he didn't, maybe not. So again, it's one of these ones, and everybody has racks like this as well, where you're just scoring 5 and 6 and 9, and you miss the edge for a carom, and your opponent's back at the table. It could end up in one of those racks. Well, in just under 2 hours, in fact, while these two guys are pottering away here in the early stages of this rack, let's just go back to the event. The matches that are on the schedule, we've got myself and Spudboy at 10:30 tonight. For some strange reason, don't ask me why, we could only ask one Pocket Slim. I have no idea why he's playing Linus tomorrow morning at 9:30 AM my time, because that's middle of the night for one Pocket Slim. So I don't know whether Slim's got his times totally confused here, but that match is going ahead supposedly at 9:30 tomorrow morning my time, which sounds crazy to me. I mean, Linus is usually online at that time, sometimes plays cowboy doubles, but why Slim's agreed to that time is beyond me. I don't know. We've got Matt and Cobra on Wednesday at a more sensible time at 6 PM British Summer Time, and I'll be there for that one. And finally on the schedule, we've got Fast Eddie and Tam on Saturday at 5 PM, and I'll be there for that one as well. So that's where we are on the scheduled matches at the moment. And meanwhile, Progressive Pool has progressed to a run of 23, force follow to the 1. 5 ball doesn't want to bank up onto the rail, you want to keep it in play so you can pot it and stay above it and give yourself now he could actually stun this cue ball towards the middle diamond, but not quite. That's not bad, although he might be too straight. He is too straight, so now he's got another option where he can go 2 rails or 1 rail and stun into the 1, or 2 rails and try and get to that 3. So that was another sort of 2-in-1 shot. So there's nothing in it score wise. Easy enough for Coldest Pillow to get rid of that deficit. Although he's going to end up too straight as well, I think, is he? No, I think he might get away with it. Just a feather edge. And he'll either be on the 1 ball next or the 5 ball as the pot. And it'll be more than likely the 5. Now, again, got to just watch the weight of the shot. You don't hit this too hard. Now he's got to get a recovery pot. Now you can either bank the 1 or go straight for the pot in the 5. Stay in the kitchen and have the 5 to the 3 as the follow-up. Well, he hasn't hit this. Has he got a line? Yeah, well he has. He's got the force follow. That's fine. So now the 5 balls in a position where you could have a line to get to from the back of the 5 to the 1. Now he's going to pot the 5. And he hasn't got the pot because he was intended to leave the 5-3 there. So now Progressive Pool is, well, he's got a choice. He could pot the 3 and leave the 5-1 as the carom, but he's potting the 1. And now he's not left himself an easy follow-up here, although he has an open table, so he can pot the 5. cut that up the table if he wants, or try and cut it and go to the rail and carom the 1. Well, he didn't get the carom, but he got the pot. But the problem now is he has to follow that up with a carom, and he's not in great shape for the carom. Got the hit though. Cue ball, cue ball. Oh, he's okay. He is just okay, teetering on the brink of disaster there. And this is good enough. Again, just got to watch the pace, just enough to get to the 1 ball. I mean, he was hitting that pretty full in the face. But if ever you think you're going to hit a half ball, you can't hit that with pace, you'll always scratch. Force follow to the 5, I think. I don't know whether he wants to thin edge it. No, he is thin edging it. And, well, again, an easy follow-up carom when he pots the 3. So the run goes to 19. Now, progressive pull. He's played the big stun there to get to the 5. He's still good in the 5. And if he can check the cue ball, go to the rail and stay below the 5, he'll be in good shape. He's letting the cue ball run away. This is not ideal, I don't think. See, that this is not ideal where he is. I mean, he can run to the 3, but you've got to watch the cue ball here. Well, that'll take care of that now. There's a 3 spot? Yes, it does. So he's again set up. But he's got to watch where the cue ball's running. And now this isn't so good. This is a really delicate edge. Yeah, he's going to have to bite the bullet and play it. And hope that he's got a decent line in the 5, which he has done. So this is promising to be a real good chance to get to that 90 and get into the caroms here. Well, he's stunned at 5. They go to the jaw, they don't go in. So the run ends in 30. And that cue ball needs to get out of the way of the spot. Well, what was a promising run there for progressive pull has sort of withered away and died. Shoes in the other foot now. Coldest pillow could take advantage if he was sitting good, and he's not really sitting comfortable here in a pot. Whatever one he chooses are not gimmies. And now he's in a decent enough line now, I think. That'll be good enough. Now, you don't want to just send this 3 ball onto the top of the 1 ball if you can help it. You want them to split. That would be the ideal solution, and then at least you know you've got a pot to follow up. But you don't want to hit this too hard, because you know what happens then as well. Well, he's glanced it, so he's good to go. So potting the 1 isolates the 1 back down onto its spot. Now, can he hit this soft enough? I don't think he can. Well, he's looking at the thin cut in the 5 now. If that goes in, he should be in a decent position. Good evening to Mooncake. Well, it's gone in. The cue ball's come out a wee bit too far, but he's still got a good opportunity here. He just doesn't want to hit this too hard. He wants to let the spin do the work. Go to that rail and hit the 1. Oh, I think he's just skimmed round the back of it. The run ends in 20, I think. Yeah. And straight away, of course, Progressive Pool's got an easy start. Got to be odds on certainty to get to the caroms now. So we've already had an earlier match. We had YouPlonkerRodney have a comfortable 3-0 win over Sergeresh earlier on. And we had Coldest Pillow not having played any cowboy at all, really make a couple of shot errors or rule infringement errors that he's now learned from, but he's really got a general idea how to go about this now. He's at a high run of 68, and from 1-0 down he's got himself in front. Although he's going to have to work to stay in touch here. So I think, is this the second or third time I've said this? Progressive Pool should be on the that cue ball. Oh dear. He should be on the caroms here. He might live to regret, if he doesn't get to the caroms in this visit, he might live to regret that. You've really got to get your act together when you're getting within that area. You've got to get there and get started. Put the pressure on your opponent, especially when you're 2-1 behind. So he goes to 83. The 5 will take him to 88. Problem though is, if he does that, the next ball he has to pot is the 1 ball, and the 1 ball's not sitting great. So he's got, see, the problem is he's got a carom to the 1, but is he going to have a shot in the 1 to get that single point? Yes, he is. That's worked out good. That's the thing you've always got to worry about when you're in 88. If you're playing a carom and then you're going to the 1, you don't want to push it dead, because you can't obviously play any other ball and pot it to get you even onto 90. So this time Progressive Pool has got himself onto the 90. And, well, this is a risky shot, because you're running the 1 ball and he hasn't spun it enough, and that 1 ball's getting close to the side pocket, and now that's a problem. So Coldest Pillow will obviously be getting rid of the 1 ball soon enough, as long as he doesn't scratch off it. Well, side rail, short rail, into the back of the 5. Again, that was the right way to play it. And the obvious shot here is pot the 5 and keep the cue ball there or thereabouts. And you should have a fairly easy follow-up carom. So now, watch, he didn't get it thick enough, and that's a big fail from Coldest Pillow there, because well, the only thing is he hasn't left an easy starter for Progressive Pool. Well, he's stunning to the left rail with right English to go around the angles and try and nip into that 3 ball. That's what I think he's doing. I don't know whether that line is exactly there. I think this might go too tight too soon. Yep, too tight too soon. Commentator's eye. well offline with that. And it gives Coldest Pillow that opportunity to try and get to 90 and catch up with Progressive Pool. This could have finished better. That needs to bump the rail and make it simple to pot the one, and now he's good for the follow-up. Nice and gentle. You don't want to start thumping balls at this distance. In fact, he's actually hit that too hard and knocked to 5 safe. He would have probably wanted to pot the 5, but he's got the backup ball. But the 5 ball's not good sitting there. It's better off in play than sitting there. So when he plays this carom, I think regardless of what else he does, he needs to make sure the 1 clears the spot, which it has done, and then pot that 5 and either stay left or right. Well, he's going to put the 3 in play, but at the moment, looking at where the 5 is, you've got pretty good odds that when the 5 spots, as long as you're left or right, you'll get an easy 5-1 carom, and the 1 will go back onto its spot, and the 3's handy, you see. I would have done it the other way, but anyway, whatever works, and as long as you stay at the table, it just depends on how you see the shots and how you want to do things. But the 1's now gone handy. He's had a little roll of the ball there, so now he can pot the 5, come across the table into the table, get the easy carom follow-up. What's he on? 83. So that'll be 88. Now he has to make sure the 1 stays in play, because he's now in the same situation. He's got a carom to get to 89 and doesn't want to kill the 1 ball dead. And that 5 ball needs to get out of the way, and it has done. And then he has to avoid the extra point here. Now the surefire way of guaranteeing that is to play the 1 into the corner and go to the rail and avoid any carom. If you start playing it in the side, you've got to make sure you avoid the 5. Well, he's done it. So now it's the race to the finish line. And he's got to, if he's trying to get from the 5 to the 3, the side pocket's in play here. If he's going to push the 5 past the side pocket, then it might be that he's stunning to the long rail. And I think he just decided to keep what he's got rather than take the risk. And again, no harm in doing that. You know, at least you're forcing your opponent to make a shot. Now, did he catch anything of that 5 ball there? No, he didn't. You know, that was the sensible shot that he played. You know, he didn't leave the table easy for Progressive Pool. He kept his points, which was the most important thing, and even more important than that, he's back at the table and scoring. Now this can get this could come very handy here if this one. Well, he needs to hit the 1 and get it out. Now he'll be playing the draw, I think, but this has got to be careful. Can he play the 3 and come to the 1? He's got to watch how he hits that 3 if he's going from the 1 to the 3. So you want to try and get that 3 into the table. Well, he's too tight to the 1, that's the problem. And this makes everything difficult. But now, he's trying to go to the rail and catch the 5. He could go force follow to the 3. Danger is you might get good on the 3 and knock it in the hole. But the 1 ball wouldn't be going to a pocket. Oh, hang on a minute, might get second prize here. No. Who told you? Who told you, when you say you only mention what you get told, who was telling you about this guy, Jeff? Or who was it suggested to you that he might be using some sort of tracking line thing? Mind you, if he was using tracking lines, he'd be potting everything. So I think that theory's out the window by just looking at what he was doing. He would have the match over fairly quickly if he suddenly had some kind of tracking line thing going on. So Coldest Pillow with a 2-1 rack lead and a 3-point lead in the carom phase is in a strong position to win this match. Oh, now, what's he left here? Well, the problem with this is that the one ball can get in the way trying to get to that 5, most certainly. There's no way you're getting it that way. And he's having to run the cue ball, and he's potted the 3. And that's what starts happening when you start having to dig out pots. You have to start taking risks. Not digging out pots, digging out shots. Coldest Pillow gets a little bonus carom there. And anything after that is a bonus as well. You can spin to the rail and try and get to the 5. And he's gone too narrow, too tight. Too quickly. So, still very much in the balance this rack, because a progressive pool gets anything into a decent shape, but that's a fail. I was just about to say, if he can get something worked out here and somehow get these balls gathered to a better position, he could easily rattle up a little run of 6 or 7, but that ain't going to happen. One ball back to the 3. That's going too tight too soon as well. And this is another one where you either duck in behind the 5 or you actually get the hit. And he's too much of a gap there to go behind. Well, here's a shot choice. Up or down either side. If you went right side, you'd maybe have to check the cue ball up a little bit to get to the 1. The cue ball wants to go to the long rail a lot sooner. But he's going the 2-3 rail route, but again it might be in an edge. He just caught it. Goes to 97. Now you can bank the 5 up the table and try and cut across to the 1. I think you can do that. That's a shot. Let me have a look. I think you can bank the 5 and try and cut across to the 1. I think that shot's a possibility. He's looking at a draw, but this is where you're running this 3 ball. You're just hoping you get lucky and you don't pot it. Took a risk there with that shot, got away with it. He's on 98. Watch the 1. Oh, that was very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. Now, what does progressive pool do? Because he needs that 1 ball. He can't leave that there. Especially if he's going for a carom, because if he doesn't get a carom, but he puts these balls close to one another, Coldest Pillow's going to be out. Yeah, he had to try and play some sort of safety, or at least make it difficult for Coldest Pillow. So progressive pool's thinking there. Tell a lie, that was Coldest Pillow. My bad. I'm going downhill rapidly, remember. That cue ball's going south, and that's fatal. Oh dear. That is very fatal. So ball in hand, with an easy carom from the 1 to the 5. Now, Coldest Pillow is looking. I don't know what he's doing here, but he can play the 1 to the 5 carom, because the 1's out of the kitchen. Is he listening to the commentary? Maybe he is. I think he is. He's just not letting on that he is. Now you just got to hope to keep the one ball in play so that you've got a shot, and he has. So left side pocket would be the most obvious one, and you've got to stun it in. This for the match. He stunned it too soon, but in very, very strong position. But Progressive Pool needs to protect the one ball now. And he's got to watch where this cue ball's going to finish. Ideally, he wants to finish down in the kitchen with the cue ball here. If he doesn't get the carom, he wants to finish down here like that, because it makes it very difficult. Now, the shot to play would be the cut up in the one and bring the cue ball into the side. So you call the side pocket. That's the pot. I don't know whether he's called that, but that's the one I'd be calling. That side pocket. You cut the one as if you're trying to pot it up the rail, and you bring the cue ball across to play the scratch. He's not hit it though. The line was almost perfect. He's going to the knuckle. And if I'm Progressive Pool, I'm getting a bit worried about the one ball going further up that rail. Now, this is a very good chance to get out here. It's touchy, but it is a chance to try and get out into that top corner pocket. Just got to avoid the double kiss. That's perfect. Well, that's a great win for Coldest Pillow. He is well into this tournament even after that match, because as I said earlier, he made a couple of rookie errors that he wasn't sure about the rules, but he certainly learned in the space of 4 racks how you should go about things, and that's a very good win, and a high run of 68, 3 racks to 1 win for Coldest Pillow. So let's look and see what that does to the bracket. If we go from top to bottom, we've got YouPlonkerRodney is through, waiting on, he's waiting on Matt and Cobra playing, and then the winner of that's going to be playing either Stubb or Jose, so there's some good matches to come there. We go further down, as I said, we've got Matt and Cobra going on, what day is that? I can't remember what day it is, but is it Friday or whatever? I don't know. Or is it tomorrow? Maybe it is. We've got Stubb and Jose to arrange theirs. We've got Interchange X with a bye, and he's waiting on the winner of my match with Spud Boy later on tonight. We've got Poolaholic and Bankster to arrange their match. LS3's got the bye waiting on that one, the winner. We've got Linus and One Pocket Slim tomorrow morning at 9:30. We've got Larry, who had a very good 3-1 win against Chiku through to round 2, and he will be playing the winner of Tam and Fast Eddie. We've got Casino Jim got the bye to round 2. We've got Yuri Master, whatever he is, up against BP Monster, and of course Jim will play the winner of that match. Coldest Pillow, of course, we've just seen go through to a match with Kenway, who had a bye. Now, I'm not sure whether Kenway is going to show up. I'm not convinced he's done that in the past, and Coldest Pillow might get a bye, or he could show up. I don't know, but I think he's maybe the tendency to sort of disappear when it comes to actually showing up for a match. Well played, Coldest Pillow. I was quite impressed. I think you went about things pretty much in fashion to give yourself a good chance of winning racks, doing what you did, and a nice little run of 68. I mean, you've got a chance of beating anybody like that, as a lot of players do in this tournament. You certainly had a bad start, couple of numpty mistakes, ball in hand in the kitchen, obviously you have to play out the kitchen, but you can play off the one ball when it's on its spot. You can't shoot a ball in the kitchen. You did that. Maybe did a numpty scratch. I think you might have done one of them, but it doesn't matter. Everybody does them. But overall, pretty impressed in how you played. So it was a good win. Right, that is it, folks. I'm probably going to have to get a coffee to get a caffeine kick, and I'll be back for my match at 10:30. So I hope you can join us. I don't know whether Slim's going to be there to stream it or whatever, but I'll certainly not be streaming it, I can guarantee you that. And we will see you again soon. So until we meet again, I'll bid you good night and wish me good luck.